Hello, I'm Greg Rutke at Rutke Mods, and in this video I will be showing you how to upgrade from Windows Vista to Windows 7 and even Windows 10 without losing your data. Now, why would we want to upgrade from Windows Vista to Windows 7 or later? Well, here's the reason. The Windows life cycle. As we can see right here, on April 11, 2017, Windows Vista's extended support will be dropped. The reason is Microsoft just doesn't want to continue giving security updates to this system. And, of course, Windows Vista is 10 years old as of now. At the time of this recording, all of these things I cover in this video on March 12th, 2017 are true and should continue to be true probably far into this year and maybe on. But keep in mind that a lot of these things will change and ways to do this will also change. So keep that in mind. Why would we want to go to Windows 7? If you're already running Windows Vista, any computer running Vista will support Windows 7. And the security updates are going to be continued until January 14th, 2020. That's a good thing. That means you have roughly 3 years to have more security updates. Also, why would we want to go to Windows 10? That also is because it will be supported till October 14th, 2025. That's the July 2015 release. The anniversary update doesn't even have an end of extended support yet. And Windows 10 will continually be updated without any device support changes. Also, Windows 10 just gives you more features, and we'll go over that. Right now I'm running Windows Vista Ultimate in a virtual machine. Now, I'm making this video for the 1% of the population, as stated online, that still uses Vista. In this video, we will be upgrading to Windows 7. The only way you can upgrade to Windows 10 is to upgrade to Windows 7 first. There is no direct path to upgrade from Vista to Windows 10. And I will also be showing you how to upgrade to Windows 10 for free once we upgrade to Windows 7. Now, first off, if we are upgrading to Windows 7, we have to have an activated copy of 7 to go to 10. If you already have a computer that has a license key on it for Windows 7, and it is a supported upgrade path OS, which we'll cover in a second, you can install Windows 7 and activate with that key. It's not supported by Microsoft to do it this way and actually violates their terms of service and all of that stuff. But you can activate one license key on multiple computers. I myself can't tell you that you should, but you can. So, upgrade path options. As we can see right here, if you have Windows Vista Business, for instance, you can go to Professional, Enterprise, or Ultimate. Enterprise is stuck with Enterprise. Home Basic can go Home Basic, Home Premium, and Ultimate. Home Premium can go to Home Premium and Ultimate Ultimate, of course, has to go to Ultimate. Now, Kinguin, which is the place we will be getting our key, always seems to have a Windows 7 Professional key. Always. Currently, they also have Windows 7 Ultimate, as we can see here, and Home Premium, and a few other keys, including Home Basic. But right here, we have Windows 7 Professional. It always tends to be on Kinguin. And as we can see here, it's for $22.29. That's really, really cheap. And that means you can upgrade to Windows 10 for $22.29, which we'll be showing you later in this video. Now, I'm saying that Windows 7 Professional is what we are going to be doing because Windows 7 Pro always seems to be on Kinguin at this time and date. Now, this may change, and the keys will eventually disappear off of Kinguin. but I don't believe it will be anytime soon. But currently we can also get the Home Premium and Ultimate keys. Home Premium is really cheap right now. If we go from Home Premium, for instance, to Windows 10, you get the Windows 10 Home/Basic version. We can also go from Home Basic to the Windows 10 Home/Basic version. If we get the Ultimate key, which you will need if you're running Windows Vista Ultimate, or the Professional key, we will be going to Windows 10 Pro. Now, if you're running Windows Vista and had upgraded from, for instance, an XP system, there's a possibility, in fact a pretty good possibility, the highest you will be able to go is Windows 7, which is still okay currently. If you're running a Windows Vista machine, there's roughly a 99% chance you can go to Windows 10. Any computer that can run Vista, on the other hand, can support Windows 7. And like I said, it's totally fine to run 7 for now. But if you want to run 10, basically any computer, they say produced midway through 2005, I'll say any computer manufactured past 2006 should support Windows 10. Windows 10 still has basically the same requirements as Vista did to install itself. The problem is some CPUs do not support the proper CPU requirements to install Windows 10, and some 64-bit CPUs do not support 64-bit Windows 10. So if you're running Windows 7 64-bit, for instance, and try to go to Windows 10's 64-bit, and you're running a processor like, for instance, I believe a Pentium D, you will not be able to go directly from 7 to 10 with a 64-bit. And if you want to run Windows 10 at all, you will need a 32-bit install, which means you'll have to do a clean install. Of course, I wouldn't recommend this if you want to have extended memory support past 4 gigabytes and other features, because 64-bit is going to be the standard coming soon in the world. So going 32-bit isn't smart. And like I said earlier, Windows 7 support will be continued until 2020, which means if you're going from, for instance, Vista 64-bit to Windows 7 64-bit, you will be fine. So anyway, now that I've covered all this and shown you where to get the key, we'll start doing the upgrade path. Now currently I am running Windows Vista Service Pack 2. I believe the latest version you need to upgrade to Windows 7 is Service Pack 1, but I would recommend running Service Pack 2. Plus, if you're already running just Service Pack 1 or even no Service Pack Vista, you should have updated a long time ago because you already have no security support to begin with. So, if you haven't gotten Service Pack 2, install that first. And before we do our upgrade path, we will want to run certain programs. We will need to want to make sure our Windows Vista install is as clean as possible and as stable as possible. I would recommend downloading programs like, for instance, CCleaner. CCleaner will allow you to clean your registry. Now, this is controversial. A lot of people say you shouldn't clean your registry with programs like this. I've never had a problem, and it makes my installs stable, and it will clean a lot of issues. For instance, if we click Scan for Issues, it will find all of the problems, and then you can hit Fix Selected Issues, and it will fix all the selected issues, and that will stabilize your registry. Also, we will want to run a program like Malwarebytes. Right here, we only need the free version to run everything, and this will make sure that your computer is clean before we upgrade. And we'll probably want to run this before CCleaner, but this is just to explain to you. We can click Start Scan. It will scan the whole system for any threats. Once this is all said and done, we can start our upgrade path, and I'll be right back to show you what we will do. Okay, once everything is done and you have your Windows 7 key, you will want to download the corresponding ISO file to do this, install with. We will have to do a Google search to download the file. Microsoft has an official website that will allow you to download the files, but you have to have a key which is a retail key and not an OEM key, which is basically what you just bought. So you will have to file download from somewhere else. Now you will want to be careful on downloading an ISO file from a third party, because some of them can be malicious and some of them can be pirated and some of them can just be really nasty. You want to go to a reputable place that has been verified to download this file. Once the file is downloaded, we will need to make the install media, which can be by disk or by USB using the proper file programs to do so. Microsoft even has a program that will allow you to do an ISO file to USB if you'd like to do that, and I'll link a link of it down in the description below. But once we have everything set up and we have our disk made, or whatever install media you want to use, we will want to load it up. Now you want to make sure you download a Service Pack 1 install if you're going to Windows 10. Plus, Service Pack 1 is the only version of Windows 7 supported still with security updates. So you want to do a Service Pack 1 install. If you don't, you can upgrade to Service Pack 1 easily. But to bypass all those requirements, just install with a Service Pack 1 install. Once we have our media in the system, we can click Run Setup. Approve the security, and it will start loading. We can then click Install Now. This may take a while. Now at this point we can just click Do Not Get the Latest Updates, because this will speed up the process. There's not much of a point to do this. Windows will update with no problem once it is installed. So there's no real reason to do this. So we can just click Do Not Get the Latest Updates. Then we can click I accept, click Next, and here we will want to hit Upgrade. We don't want to really click Custom. This way we can keep our data. It will check the compatibility. If there's any conflicts here, it will tell you before you upgrade. Like for instance, the ultimate extras for Vista aren't in 7. That's not a big deal, unless you like those, but they can also be transitioned to 7 with some hacking, which I won't be covering. We can click Next, and it will start upgrading. And I will come back to this video once it gets mostly through this. The system is now expanding the Windows files. Once this is complete, the computer should restart. The system is now restarting. Now at this point it will bring up a menu, and you can actually go back into Vista if you'd like, but of course there's no point. And then it will start loading the Windows 7 installer. Now since I'm in a virtual machine, the screen resolution probably will not be correct, but you'll still get the gist of this. And the installer will continue and start upgrading Windows. It will continue expanding the files, and then it will install the features and transfer the files, and we will continue once everything is finished. Alright, the system is restarting one more time, and now it should boot into Windows. As we see now, there is no menu to roll back, and that means that Windows 7 has successfully installed. It's doing the final operations, and then it should go into the setup menus. Now it's preparing everything, and once this is finished, the setup menus will show up. Here we can now enter our product key that you bought on Kinguin. You don't have to enter it now, but it's much easier to do it now. If you don't, that's okay. We will be able to enter it later. I will hit skip. We'll want to use recommended settings, etc., etc. Set our time, set our network. And now it's finalizing and booting into the full desktop. And here's the desktop. Don't worry about any system errors. That will be all ironed out as it finishes setting up. As we can see here, we have all the programs that I have installed still here. And before we continue doing anything, we will want to make sure Windows is activated. We can do this by right-clicking on Computer and going to Properties. And here we can click on this to see if it will automatically activate. It should, in theory, eventually activate with your key in it. If it doesn't, there's an option to activate by phone. You'll want to click that and do it by the automation on the phone system. There's also a way where you can activate it using your smartphone through the web browser, which is quite easy and the way I'd recommend to do it. But what you do is you read off a number of numbers that the activation screen gives you, and then after everything's said and done, it will give you back a number of numbers to do. And if you're on the phone system and it asks you how many computers has this copy of Windows installed onto it, you just say 1, and it will allow you to continue. Now at this point, if you want to stay on Windows 7, that is totally fine. Windows 7 is literally just a updated version of Windows Vista. You even have the Vista start menu, more or less. It's basically the same start menu. Everything's good. You'll have support for security updates until 2020. Now, if you want to go to Windows 10, of course you'll have to have Windows 7 updated. And if you're staying with Windows 7, you want to make sure that all your drivers are still working properly and there's no other issues. If you want to go to Windows 10, stay tuned. We'll show you real quick how you can do that, and I'll also give you a link up in the corner to show you how to do it by a video that I have already filmed. Now, if you want to install Windows 10 for free, there's still a way to do it, and currently at this time of filming, it's quite easy. You can just go to this website right here, which I'll leave a link to below, and click on Upgrade Now. And that will give you a download file, which once you run it, will allow you to download and install Windows 10 for free, and it will automatically activate once everything is said and done. If you need a video to show you how to do that, I have already filmed one, which you can click on the link right up here, and it will show you everything you need to know about it. Needless to say, it's quite simple, and you'll still be able to keep all your settings and files. Also, if you want to still have that start menu that you're so used to in Vista and 7, you can install a program like Start 10, for instance, and it will allow you to have the old start menu still. Anyway, so that's how you can upgrade from Vista to 7 and 10 and not lose your files and settings, and also allow you to continue getting security updates. Anyway, so that is the end of this video, and thank you for watching. This has been a Rutke Mods video. It will check the compatibility, and then we can, and I have updates. Round 2.